Hey, Claude Pelanne here, Affiliate Starting Line. Welcome. This is going to be part 2 in the SEOmoz Beginner's Guide to SEO video series, and we're in Chapter 4. And part 2 is about crawlable link structures. The first part was about indexing information. The second part is about how does the search engine find that information, and it finds it by following links. So what it tells you here in the first paragraph is that you have to have link structure that allows the search engine to find your pages at the very top level of your home page, at the secondary level, generally from your nav bar, at the third level in the final or fourth level, depending on how deep your site goes, from the navigation bar into the actual content pages of your website. And if you have it properly structured, that happens. If you don't, very often what happens is the crawlers find the home page, they find the secondary pages, in this case B and E, but then there aren't any links to pages C and D. So they stop there and they don't index these other pages. So you have to make sure that you create a link architecture of your site that follows and finds all the pages that you have on your site. And I'll give you a short demo on my blog when we're done here. The second part of this section explains how you set up an anchor text link to a web page using some text here, and it's a good way of linking to pages anywhere there can be found on your site. And it gives you the HTML structure for doing that. There's a bracket, and the A for anchor text, the href reference attribute equals, and then in quotes, the destination URL of where, and the close bracket here, of where this text, John Wise Custom Designed Belts, is going to send you when you click on it. And then the brackets with the / and the closing anchor tag here. So this whole structure of this HTML sends John Wise Custom Designed text to this website. And you have to, if you can understand the structure of this anchor text, you'll then begin to see how you can create a situation where pages can be found on your website. So you should study this and get a good understanding of it. And then it gives you 7 ways that search engines are prevented from finding information. So the first one here is submission of required forms. Any kind of a form login situation. So you're an opt-in form for an email, a search box, whatever it is, very hard for the search engines to get behind that and find the links behind it. So you should be aware of that. Links in unparsable JavaScript. So there's a way some of these JavaScript links are written. Don't allow search engines to get behind that link. You want to make sure that standard HTML links replace your JavaScript or accompany it on a page where you'd like to find spiders to crawl. That's where the anchor text attribute that we saw up above come in handy. Links pointing to pages blocked by the robot.txt. We mentioned that earlier in the video series. The robot.txt files tell the search engines what they can crawl and what they can't. So if you set one up and you set it up, you put a URL under the robot.txt situation, you won't get crawled and it won't follow that link. Frames and iframes. That's a situation. I've never used these. I stay away from them. Google hates them. This is where people code a page to show it one thing to the user and then send and one thing to the search engine. They're both being different. Google hates those, and I wouldn't even get involved with them. Links in Flash, Java, and other plugins. We already talked about that a little earlier. If you saw the site that was all designed in Flash and then the search engine couldn't see it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the video on part 1. And so you want to make sure that where you have Flash and where you have Java plugins, you have accompanying HTML text that will tell the search engine how to get to wherever it's supposed to go if you want it to be linked and get that information. Links on pages with many hundreds of thousands of links. Anything above 100 links on a page doesn't get followed by the search engines. This applies really probably to store sites that might have a ton of products on a page and you just want to limit the number of products you put on the page. The other thing that it talks about is this concept called Rel Equals Nofollow. This is another HTML piece of code that tells, if you include it inside the code, it will tell the search engine not to follow that link. And It's used by a lot of websites that do not want to pass on their link authority to whoever puts a link to them or creates a link back to their website from them, like Wikipedia does that. And so even though you may have a link coming from a site with a lot of authority, if it's a no-follow link, it's not going to pass on any authority, any link juice to you. Now, some people think those links are worthless. They're not. They're part of every natural link profile. So you should have a few no-follow links in your profile. It makes you look more natural. And a lot of authoritative websites add this attribute to their link code so that they don't always pass on all of their link juice to people whom they don't know anything about. Now, what this on the right hand tells you is that Google and Bing and Yahoo will not generally follow these links, and they may not index them. But on the other hand, that's not always true. They will, in the case of Bing and Yahoo, in some cases they will follow the links and they will index the information. It's just that those links will carry no weight and they will carry no authoritative pass-on juice, and therefore they're of limited value to the receiver of those links, but they will still allow some of that information to get indexed. That is what the suspicion is among a lot of SEO experts. So that is the story about link structure. You want to make sure that your link structure on your website is clear so that all your pages can be found. So one example here is my website. And so here you're on the home page, and it will arrive here and it will follow links from the home page, but then it will also follow links along the lines here on this nav bar. And so if it follows this link here, it's going to see that it talks about search engine optimization, and that's going to follow the link to the 3 pages that are relevant to the Google Search Engine Optimization Starter Guide. If it goes to SEOmoz, it'll follow all the links going to these pages that I've done on the original SEOmoz Beginner's Guide. And so that means that allows the pages both at the high level, at the secondary level, and at the third level to be found. That's what it means by link structure. So that's what you want to try to achieve when you're doing that for your website. So that is crawlable link structures in the SEOmoz Beginner's Guide to SEO, Chapter 4, Part 2. Read it. It takes a little while to let this stuff sink in, but at least if you've watched the video, you have some structure that you can use and some information you use before you get in there, and hopefully that will help you. And that's it. This is Claude Pelanne, Affiliate Starting Line. Stay with it, stay well, and we'll talk to you soon.